Hello, everyone. So I didn't come on last night. I'm sure it really disappointed my several followers that watch my stuff every day because it's so riveting and it's so important. But I had like a 12-hour day yesterday. Came home, showered, ate, and went to bed. That was my day yesterday. So anyway, tonight I just want to try and keep this a little bit short. We'll see if that happens or not. But the one thing I want to talk about tonight is I wouldn't call it climate change, but I saw this story today about the signs at Glacier National Park, which used to read that these glaciers are going to be gone by 2020, and it's now September of 2021, and surprisingly enough, the glaciers are not gone. What a shock! Um, so they actually updated their signs, and so let me pull this up here. Um, so this is a story from Infowars, but so the national park has removed glaciers will be gone by 2020 signs because of global warming prediction never came true. So Glacier National Park made headlines when it removed park signs meant to highlight climate change predictions by the U.S. Geological Survey. The park attempted to save face by claiming the glaciers are still shrinking. So, and I'll go on here, but so that they didn't totally remove the signs, they just changed them, right? And it says they say now when they completely disappear depends on how and when we act. One thing is consistent: the glaciers in the park have been shrinking. So in this article in Infowars, they have this picture here from Flopping Aces. And so let me just pull it up. So it says here, this is what the sign used to say. Now it says here 2017, but in the story or in the tweet, it says over here, it says 2019. So I don't know when this picture was actually taken, but so it says the small alpine glaciers present today started forming about 7,000 years ago and reached their maximum in size and number around 1850. So 1850, so what was going on in 1850 that the glaciers reached their maximum size? Was there a whole bunch of man-made climate change going on then? I mean, what was going on in 1850 that caused these glaciers to get so big? I mean, was it from all the horse and buggies that were around? Was it from the buffalo roaming around the area? Too many buffalo? I mean, was it, I don't know. I mean, what was going on in 1850? Anyways, at the end of the Little Ice Age, okay, they're now rapidly shrinking due to human-caused climate change. And I'll get into that here in a second. But computer models indicate the glaciers will be gone by the year 2020. So computer models. So it's computers, okay, we're modeling that they're going to be gone by 2020. So Glacier National Park was named for the sculpting actions of the Pleistocene glaciers that covered the landscape 12,000 to 130,000 years ago. So man-made caused climate change, right? So I don't know if you probably all can see that with my picture down in there, but so man-made climate change. So I will say this: there is man-made climate change, but not in the way that they say it, right? So, I mean, there's hardly a day that goes by that I don't see chemtrails, aerosol injections in the sky. Um, the thing is about that, they have fucked up our weather and our climate so bad with this crap, they can't stop now. They fucked it up so bad. If they stop, it'll get worse. But let me go to this other article. This is from KRTV in Great Falls, Montana. Um, so again, talks about here again, same thing, that the glaciers will be gone by by 2020, and now they're changed. They originally added to the park to reflect climate change predictions by the U.S. Geological Survey, right? What I thought was funny was, so this Gina Kurzman explained that the latest research shows some of the glaciers, or some shows shrinking in some of the glaciers, but in ways much more complex than what was predicted. Because of this, the park must update all signs around the park to say if the glaciers will be melted by 2020. So again, this whole one thing is consistent, the glaciers in the park are shrinking. So in this original, or in this InfoWars article, it does go on to show, and I don't know if I really totally understand this. I'm kind of colorblind, so I can't really tell what all these color lines here mean. But this is showing here the Arctic sea ice extent. So it's saying here in related news, Arctic ice levels are at the lowest they've been in 9 years, according to satellite imagery. So I assume this black line here is showing 2021, right? So according to that, so that's in the middle here, as opposed to whatever color this is down here, which I really don't know. I'm thinking maybe that's the 2000s. I don't know. But so obviously it's above all these other lines, right? So apparently, according to this, the Arctic ice is not shrinking, right? And this one here, additionally, Arctic ice is also above normal. So again, you look at this black line, which is 2021. So again, it's way up here, as opposed to other times in the past years where it was down here. So they may be shrinking, but the thing is, there's always climate change, right? It's not the same every year, the same time of the year. I mean, growing up in Minnesota, I remember some really bad winters, where it's below zero for weeks at a time. The roads would ice up, and there's no amount of salt or sand you could put on the roads to clear them up, But and then there's other winters where it didn't seem so bad. There's other winters, like the first winter I moved into my first house, which was, I think, was 1998 or 97. I don't know. But that winter was so bad, and my driveway went east-west, right? So the house was on the west side of it, and then the driveway went east. But the wind came from the north, and it blew so much snow onto my driveway from the north. I mean, I had a drift so high by the end of January, I couldn't even shovel over it, right? So that was my first experience as a homeowner, right? So going back to climate change, right? Like I said, they have messed with the weather so bad that they can't stop doing it now. They have put so much crap into the sky. And I firmly believe that there's literally no natural weather anymore. Because you can't even predict like what's going to happen, because they don't know what's going to happen. I live in Georgia here now, and we've had summers on. I've lived here for 20 years, but this summer has been exceptionally mild. We probably only had 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 days, I don't know, 90 degrees or above. So there was one summer, I believe it was 2018, so 3 years ago, we had a stretch of like 38 some days of it being in the 90s. We're talking upper 90s, which is rough. That was a rough summer. I mean, we couldn't get away from it. So it isn't because we had more cars on the road then, or factories were putting out more CO2. I mean, fucking CO2 is a good thing, right? Trees need CO2 to survive, right? Trees take the CO2, convert it into oxygen. You probably learned that in fifth grade, whatever class it was called, biology or whatever, But this, they spray the sky so much. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't see them in the sky. And I can even hear them at night up there spraying. Um, so all this man-made climate change, it's real, but not what they say it is. So, um, yeah, the glaciers, they'll probably get smaller at some point, and then they'll get bigger at some point. You know, the thing is about water. Water never goes away. It never goes away. It's always around in some form, whether it's in the form of ice, in the form of snow, in the form of water, if it's in a gaseous form, if it's a cloud, it goes up into it evaporates, goes into the sky, and eventually it comes down again. The water never goes away. You can boil water out of a pot. It's not gone. It's not gone. It's still around. It's just in a different form. And I may be totally wrong. I'm not a freaking scientist, but I don't believe there's a shortage of water. Maybe there's a shortage of fresh water that is drinkable because we put so much shit and chemicals into our food and all that stuff, spraying crap on our plants, the freaking glyphosate and the Roundup and all that crap, that it gets harder and harder to get clean water. So, but it never really goes away. So, anyway, so that's just my little short thing tonight. There's a whole lot of other things I can talk about. But I didn't want to make this long. And I'm really at a loss here. But so let me know what you think about this. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny that they had to, remove their sign saying it was going to go away. It just falls in line with the whole Al Gore thing from, 20 years ago. I remember watching that show. What is it? An Inconceivable Truth. And I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, I looked at these pictures and look at this here, and look at this here. And I was like, damn, that sucks, But as I come to find out later, it was all bullshit, So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow night and we'll talk about something else tomorrow, or I'll talk about something else. Maybe you can listen, you can watch. I don't care. Anyways, we'll see y'all tomorrow night.